What is up, you guys? It is Dylan back again with Carnage Outdoors. Today is day 2 of mini season. We're going out there. We limited yesterday. Let's see if we can do it again.
So welcome back underwater, you guys. So on my last video, I got a few comments saying that you guys prefer the videos where I narrate, so that is what we will be doing today. This first lobster I saw as soon as I jumped in the water. I looked down and he was a free walker on the top of the reef. So I went down and caught him and made him the first lobster in the bag for the day. So I've gotten a few comments on my YouTube shorts and also on my Instagram reels saying that I kill every lobster that I catch, which is absolutely not true, and I will be showing you guys that today. Usually I leave out the lobster that I let go. This is one, for example. He was a short lobster. I measured him. He was too small, so I let him go. And then in this next clip here, you'll see that I catch this lobster, and usually I will leave them alone if I notice that they have eggs. This one, however, I couldn't see that it had eggs, so I caught it. As soon as I saw the eggs, I let it go back home, have babies, and make me more lobsters for next year. So for this clip here, I wish I had started my GoPro a little bit sooner. TJ had shot a nice grouper here, and he stoned it, which means he killed it as soon as he pulled the trigger. Right now, what he's trying to do is get the fish off the spear so he can get it into his bag. This is his first ever grouper, so congratulations to him for that. It was a, I believe, 23-inch red grouper, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 22 inches, so pretty nice fish. They have to be 20 inches to be of legal size, so he was easily legal, and it was a nice fish to add to the bag. So now we are back to catching lobster again after that short hiatus to shoot that grouper. This one was in a pretty difficult hole to catch them out of. Not a lot of access to really get behind him, so I'm reaching behind him with the looper and trying to get the right angle just to push him out and move him a little bit, which is what I do right here. I get him walking out into the open a little bit over here, and I have a shot at him to get the looper behind him, and I kind of rush it and hit him on the face, and he shoots back into the hole. So now I'm poking him around, trying to get him to move. He goes out the other side, goes back under this hole again. So now I'm back to square one. I see him under there, and I see that I can poke him out the other side and get him into my Uncle Brent's net, who is on the other side of the rock, which is what happens right here. And he catches it, and as soon as he catches it, he realizes that it has eggs. However, there is one more lobster in this rock here, so I'm pointing to him to let him know that there's still one in there. So I'm trying to get after this one. As you can see, he's way back in there, so I go to the other side for better access. You can see his antenna sticking out right there. So I'm just trying to work him out and get him into a position where I can catch him, and there he shoots back to the other side again, just causing a little bit of difficulty, which sometimes they do, which is no big deal. We have the brownie down there, so we have unlimited air, which makes it very easy. He goes shooting out, trying to get out the back door, and I find him here and get the looper behind him and catch him up. Now I'm going to measure him and make sure that he is of legal size, which I do right here, and he is legal, so I throw him in the bag, and we are on to the next one. This next lobster was standing on the outside of his sand hole, which is always a blessing because that makes it super easy to catch, as you can see right here. And I measure him up, which he is also legal, and I am moving on to the next lobster. So this lobster here I found in a sand hole, and usually when you reach your looper back in there and you kind of tickle their belly, they'll just come walking out, which you'll see this one do right here. So I'm poking him, I'm poking him, I'm poking him. You can see his antennas kind of moving around, and I'm poking his belly, and he is starting to walk out. Thought I had him right there, and he's out. And I try to get the looper behind him, and he shoots back into the hole. And one thing that you'll notice the more you dive for lobster is once they shoot back into the hole the first time, they're not going to come walking right back out. So this one I had to reach my hand in, and I grab him by the base of his antenna, the part that's not going to break off, and I pull him out. Try not to damage him too much. Didn't break any legs or antennas off. And I measured him, and he is just slightly too small, so I let him go to get bigger for the next year. So I found this one here under this small coral head, which I think is like one of the best places to find lobster. If you go out looking for lobster and you're not finding them, look under small coral heads like this, because more likely than not you will find some in stuff like this. This is a little untraditional of a catch because I didn't get the looper on the space between his carapace and his tail. However, it worked anyways, and I got this nice large lobster, which was one of the biggest ones of the day. So here was another free walker that I found that made it super easy to catch, but as soon as I caught it, I noticed the bright orange eggs on its belly, so I let her go to make more babies. So this lobster right here, I saw his antennas poking out from a little distance away, so I went over to check him out, and it was a nice large one that made it super easy for me to catch, and I got the looper right around his tail and put him in the bag to move on. So for this lobster here, this just goes to show that there's not just one way to catch lobster. For me personally, the looper is head and shoulders above every other way to catch lobster, but that's just me personally. That's the way I dive. I know people who much prefer the net and tickle stick over the looper, so it just is all personal preference. For this lobster here though, I really wish I had the net. Every time I had just a chance to catch him, he would just take off and just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. If I could have put a net right behind him, I could have scared him right into the net and caught him in 5 seconds, but I didn't. So I kept chasing him, have another opportunity here. He goes straight through the looper. I would have had a chance if I would have just acted a little quicker. He goes into this rock here, and as soon as he sees me, he takes off again. And we're fighting the current right now. The current switched halfway through our dive from south to north to now it's north to south. And look how easy it is for my Uncle Brent to catch him with the net. He just drops it right on top of the thing, catches it in 1 second, and we are moving on. So this lobster in this hole right here gives me the perfect opportunity to block off his exit on one side of the rock and push him to my hand on the other side of the rock. So that's exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm putting the looper on the right side of him, so he has no way to walk into the rock, and I'm poking him until he shoots out right into my hand, and I grab him right there, and then I measure him, and he is just a hair short, so we let him go so we can find him next time we go diving after he molts and gets a little bit bigger. So in this small rock here, there are 2 lobster. I'm messing with one on this side, TJ's over on the other side. He's reaching his hand in there to go see if he can grab his. Mine's a little bit more cooperative, so I am able to move mine around. I think his shot to the back of the hole, so he's just trying to grab it out. Right here I'm trying to do what I did on the last one, which is just tickle him right into my hand, but it doesn't really work. He gives me a perfect opportunity to catch him right now, and he just somehow gets out. Just moved the right way to get away. But he's still not doing what TJ's did. He's still walking around a little bit, so I'm able to mess with him. He stirred up the sand, so it's pretty difficult to see him there, but he's still right there. So I tickle him out, touch him one more time, and he shoots right into my hand, so I drop the looper quick and catch him like a football. Measure him up, and he is legal. So I drop him in the bag and turn around and see that TJ's pulling his out, and he got a nice big one, which doesn't even have to be measured, so he drops his in my bag. And for some reason on this dive, both his and my Uncle Brent's bags broke, both of them, which is super uncommon, but luckily I had my bag down there so they could drop theirs in my bag. So this one's a pretty cool catch right here. I find this one under this rock, and I see that I can poke him out to the other side, which is what I did right there. And I look over, and TJ finds him. So we're going to work together, try and get this one out. So I tap him and he goes flying into TJ's net, does a loop around and flies right into my hands. So that kind of worked out perfectly and imperfectly at the same time, but I measure him up and drop him in the bag. So as you can see here, I really wanted to shoot this red grouper. I'm like 99% sure he was legal, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I didn't want to kill a fish that we wouldn't be able to eat. So I let him swim until the next time we go diving. Hopefully he's a little bigger. So this is another pretty cool catch here. This one I just kind of reach my hand in there and grab him out really quick. Made it kind of easy for me. I grab him by the knuckle and pull him out. But as soon as I pull this one out, my Uncle Brent's messing with another one and he goes flying into the same hole. And I reach my hand in there quick and grab him because I know if I don't grab him right now, he's going to shoot deeper in the hole and he's going to be difficult to catch. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got the one lobster in my left hand and then I got my right hand reaching in to grab this other lobster. And I'm messing with him right now and I get him out. And in order to measure these ones, I tuck that one under my left armpit and I measure this one, and I believe he was a short, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see right here. Yep, he was a short, so we let him go, but this one was a legal lobster, so I measured him, made sure he was good, and I dropped him in the bag and moved on to the next one. So to avoid copyright issues, I had to completely cut the audio out for this short portion of the video because we forgot to turn the music off on the boat, but this is the first bag dump of the day. I think we ended up getting like 18 lobster or something like that and a grouper, so it was a decent dive. It was a pretty long dive, so to only get 18 lobsters kind of not that good, but day 2 of mini season can be really slim pickings, which it was on this day. So we're back in the water for dive number 2. And find this lobster right away, and he's a pretty easy one to catch. I poke him out to the other side of the hole, and I get my looper right behind him, right here, and he makes it easy for me, doesn't move a whole lot, so I loop him up, catch him, and this red grouper comes looking for a meal. And I really wanted to shoot this red grouper also. I was about 99% sure that he was legal, but again, not 100% sure. Don't want to kill this fish for no reason, so I let him swim. I even tried to catch him with my hands, which I actually have done before, but this one I couldn't get close enough to do it. This right here is like the most classic example of catching a lobster in a sand hole. You see his 2 antennas sticking out there. I slide the looper right into him. He starts walking out, stands right outside his hole. I get the looper right behind him and catch him quick and put him in the bag. Such an easy one to catch, and I love when they're in the sand holes like that. So me and my dad found this nice little hole with 2 lobster in it. He catches the first one pretty easily. Gets the looper around its tail, and I'm messing with the other one. It's just not giving me the right angle to get the looper around his tail, so I push it to the other side, go shooting out right there. Then it feels my dad's looper on his tail, so he goes back in, and then I push it back out to the other side again, and then I notice that it has eggs under its belly, so I'm trying to give my dad hand signals to let him know not to bother her and let her have her babies in peace. So right after that last one, I see this red grouper and I notice that he's bigger than the other ones, and I'm 100% positive he's legal. So I line up on him and he starts swimming away, and I'm just looking for a perfect shot. I know I'm going to get a really good shot on this thing. They're really dumb fish, so I go chasing after him. Line up again right here. He's just not giving me the perfect shot. I could hit him a million times right there, but I want to get a really, really good shot on this thing. So he goes under this little overhang and he gives me a unicorn shot. And usually I don't take them, but I was able to get vertical enough that I know I won't ruin any meat. And I shoot him and the spear doesn't even come out of the gun because I was so close to him. And I didn't stone him, but I came really, really close, and he ended up dying in like a few seconds anyways. But yeah, this one was a really nice red grouper. I think he was like 23, 24 inches. But I didn't really show him too much to the camera because I had just seen a big hammerhead shark, and I didn't want to attract too much unwanted attention. I had already stirred up a good amount of sand right there and got some vibrations in the water, so I'm looking around making sure that shark's not going to come investigate too much, but fortunately for me he did not, and by this point the grouper's already dead. So I unclip the line so I can feed it through and drop him in my bag, which I do right here. Right there, I'm dropping him in the bag. I leave a little bit of tag end on that line just in case there's a little kick left in him, but he had no more. So right after I get the grouper in the bag, I look up and there's a hogfish. So I turn my camera on quick, line up a shot, and shoot him right in the face. Get a really nice shot on him. I pull him in quickly to try to secure him, try to not bring any unwanted attention from that hammerhead that I had seen, or maybe other sharks around in the area. We're diving a little bit deeper than I usually dive. This is about 35 to 40 feet, which holds a lot more sharks than the reefs on the inside. But while I'm messing with that hogfish, bleeding him out, my dad finds a lobster right under me, and he catches this one up and gets it in his bag. So right after I get done messing with those fish, I find a nice lobster under this hole here, and I push him a little bit just to make him have a little bit better angle for me. So I tap him, he goes shooting back a little bit. I get the looper right behind his tail, catch him up, and I measure him up, he's legal, and I put him in the bag. So this here is my dad catching a lobster, and this is something I wanted to show you guys. This is what I used to do when I used one of the green loopers, which is as soon as you loop it up, pin it against the rock and stabilize the thing so he's not moving around too much. So then you can grab him and it makes it a little easier for you. So these are the last few lobsters of the day right here. There's two under this small little rock here, and then there's one off to the right, and I pointed it out to my dad. He's gonna go mess with that. So I catch this first one, super easy to catch, walks out right for me. So I'm going to measure him up, but before that I point out where the other one is to my dad so he can go catch that one. So this one I measure him up, he's legal, so I drop him in the bag, and I'm going to go mess with this other one right here. He just makes it a little difficult because sometimes when they hold ground like that, you can't really get the looper around their tail really good. So you just got to wait for them to move just a slight amount so you can get the right position, which is what I do right here. And I'm able to get it around him right there, and I catch him. He's a little small, and my dad's over there trying to catch that one, which he will in a few seconds here. But that's going to be the last lobster of the day. I will see you guys up on the surface after my dad catches this last lobster right here.
In there. Decent day. Not that long of a dive. Two dives. 32. Not bad. Let's see what we got.
Guilty.
31 lobsters. 2 nice red groupers. Nice hog. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Peace.